Yes, Ross, thank you. You are staying with us to discuss updates from the Indo-Pacific. We do move on now over to Southeast Asia, where Thailand has welcomed Malaysia's mediation efforts in the ongoing conflict with Cambodia. However, Thai officials demand Cambodia cease hostilities and show good faith before negotiations can progress. The two countries are locked in intense fighting along their disputed border, which has led to significant casualties. Thailand condemned Cambodia's actions as violations of international law. Thailand also praised Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim for his ceasefire proposals, but stressed that a peaceful resolution depends on Cambodia's willingness to halt the attacks. The situation continues to escalate despite international calls for de-escalation and dialogue. Let's take a look at what the Thai Foreign Minister and the Thai Foreign Ministry spokesman had to say.
ขอย้ำว่าการกระทำเหล่านี้ไม่เป็นเพียงแค่ละเมิดอำนาจอธิปไตยของประเทศไทยแต่ยังละเมิดกฎหมายระหว่างประเทศกฎบัตรของ UN แล้วก็กฎหมายมนุษยธรรมระหว่างประเทศอย่างร้ายแรงแล้วก็ละเมิดศีลธรรมขั้นพื้นฐานของความเป็นมนุษย์ที่ควรได้รับการประณามอย่างเต็มที่จากประชาคมระหว่างประเทศ
Thailand strongly condemns these inhumane acts which are in blatant contradictions to the obligation under the aforementioned Geneva Conventions. Thailand is sending a letter to the President of the ICRC to place on record our strong condemnation of these blatant violations of international humanitarian law.
Well, we are again joined by Ross Feingold, the political analyst. He joins us live from Taipei. Ross, Thailand wants, quote, good faith and a ceasefire before these talks occur. Is that a realistic precondition or simply a stalling tactic here?
It's probably a realistic precondition for a number of reasons. For starters, and the most practical reason is when it comes to military strength, there's simply no comparison. Thailand's military, whether its army, its land forces, or its air forces, are vastly superior to what resources Cambodia has in its own military. And everybody knows that. The Cambodian government knows that. Other stakeholders who might want to intervene know that as well. So that's something that Cambodia needs to deal with, and it gives Thailand an enormous amount of confidence in any type of negotiation. The other factor here, and it's been a consistent position of Thailand, when it comes to this territorial dispute with Cambodia, Thailand has generally rejected third-party mediation or intervention, whether that's the United States, China, even the International Court of Justice. However, and this comes as no surprise, Thailand seems open to the intervention of the ASEAN leadership, which is currently Malaysia. And the reason why Thailand will be open to that is they know that the ASEAN as an organization, or Malaysia's prime minister as the current chair of ASEAN, they're not going to take sides. They truly will work in a mediator role. So as part of Thailand's participation and its faith in ASEAN, they seem to be welcoming the intervention of a single third party, and that's ASEAN. But when it comes to other third parties like the United Nations or the United States or even China, Thailand is resistant to that.
Yes, Ross, you briefly touched on it there, but how much leverage does Malaysia really have as a mediator, and what makes Kuala Lumpur credible to both sides?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the answer, again, lies in the long time, I would call it positioning of ASEAN, which is never to take sides in any disputes, either internal political disputes within its member countries or between ASEAN countries. ASEAN might play the role of a facilitator, but it never takes sides. So for that reason, Thailand might say, okay, we really don't want third-party intervention here. That's basically a non-starter for Thailand. But when it comes to ASEAN, given ASEAN's role as just simply being a facilitator and not taking sides, then Thailand might be open to that. And also, there's another factor here is whatever ASEAN's leader, and again, that's currently the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Anwar Ibrahim, tries to do, Thailand knows that they can reject it. They don't have to accept what ASEAN does, and there's no repercussions. There's no negative effect from rejecting what ASEAN tries to do.
Ross, I'm very conscious of time here. However, I just want to fit this last question in. This is obviously a conflict that is very new, but however has a very deep history. However, do these border clashes risk pulling in more ASEAN states, or will the region rally behind this single mediation track?
It's very unlikely that ASEAN countries would take sides. So again, that makes it more likely that ASEAN could play a mediator role. And the other interesting thing here is another important player is China, and China actually has excellent relations with both countries. So that will also be something to watch going forward.
Ross Feingold.